introduction. I don't know if I deserve all of that good
And more,
words.
and more.
Thank you. You're just
I first met Catherine back in the 90s when we were working on persecution of Kurds in Iraq and human rights abuses and genocide. And Catherine was out front line, basically demonstrating with us, holding hunger strikes, trying to get attention to the Kurdish issue. And since then, she has been helping other communities and other groups and other human rights issues. And as Catherine said, we have been involved on human rights issues in regards to Kurds, Turkey, Iran, Syria, and Iraq, obviously, and other parts of the world. But we have also been working on refugee issues, and I see a lot of familiar faces here who have helped us on issues of refugees and helped us on human rights issues and persecution of religious and ethnic minorities in the Middle East. Today we have a wonderful group of people. We have people from the Iranian Federal Congress, which I first met back in the early 2000s. They had just formed it in 2005, and it was a group of all the ethnic and religious minorities in Iran who are very involved and are persecuted, but also have been a vocal voice and a voice to the voiceless in Iran. And since then, I have had the privilege and the honor of meeting more and more of the people that I have worked with the Azerbaijani Cultural Society, the Baluchi People's Party, the Balochistan United Front, the Democratic Party of Iran and Kurdistan, the Democratic Solidarity Party of Ahwaz, Komala Party, and Organization in the Defense of the Rights of Turkic People. All of these religious and ethnic minorities in Iran have been the forefront and the voice for the voiceless in Iran, and have been coming to Congress to talk about issues of human rights abuses, and have been talking to members of Congress, their communities. They have large communities in the United States, in different states, and they have been at the forefront. In the past few months, we have seen, actually in the past few years, we have seen persecution in Iran against ethnic and religious minorities, and we have been alarmed and concerned, and that's when we started talking to members of Congress and to the Office of Senator Kirk and Congressman Wolf and other members about these issues and how we can help our population. As a result of human rights abuses and persecution, we always see refugees, and those people that flee persecution come to neighboring countries who are hostile towards them in the first place and who are not signatories of the 1951 Convention. This year is a historic year. It's the 60th year of the 1951 Refugee Convention. I encourage you all to go to the UNHCR website. There are events going on around the country to mark the Refugee Day, which is June 20th, and I encourage you to get involved in your communities in sponsoring a refugee, befriending a refugee, mentoring a refugee. Refugees are a great asset to this country and are wonderful examples of courage and resilience, and I am amazed and humbled every day by the people I meet and the refugees I work with, and I encourage you to get involved in the refugee issues in the United States. It's also a very interesting year because for years the Lautenberg Amendment has been at the forefront of rescuing people. As you know, the refugee program in the United States is a rescue program. We rescue the most vulnerable. We bring them to the United States, then we ask them to become self-sufficient, which is quite interesting because here you have the most vulnerable, and then when they get here, they have to fend for themselves and work and get jobs. And so I encourage you to get involved in domestic issues dealing with refugees and how we can help refugees adjust and integrate and build lives in the United States. As far as the Lautenberg Amendment, there are Melanie's here if people are interested to learn more from Hayes about how we can. There's a bill out there. There are some signatories. Some folks have signed on, and I encourage. We have signed on, so I encourage others and encourage your members to sign the Lautenberg Amendment to rescue the most vulnerable religious. We have tried for many years to include ethnically persecuted people in Iran as well to be included in the Lautenberg Amendment, and that hasn't materialized yet, but we hope that it will happen. Without further ado, I'd like to, again, for those who would like to learn more about our organization, you're welcome to go to www.khrw.org And also in regards to the Iranian, Dr. Karim is here, and he'll give us an overview of the website information and how you can learn about the Iranian Federal Congress. We did a few efforts in 2006 in regards to this, and I know Dr. Karim and I have been, and Mr. Hijri and others, Dr. Bohr, we have been trying to get the plight of the Iranian religious and ethnic minorities to the forefront. Without further ado, I have the honor and the distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. Mustafa Hijri. Mr. Mustafa Hijri is the General Secretary of the Democratic Party of Iranian Kurdistan. Mr. Hijri was born in Nalada, Western Azerbaijan. He completed the Teachers College of Agriculture in Urmia in 1963. He holds a BA in Persian Literature in Tehran University. Mr. Hijri became the Secretary General of KDPI after the assassination of two of the previous Secretaries General of KDPI by the regime in Iran. Both of the, and I hope Mr. Hijri has a very long life. However, in times of negotiations, we have seen that Secretary Generals in the table of negotiations have been chased and killed. Back in 1989, we saw the assassination of Dr. Qasim Lou, who was in negotiations with the government of Iran at the time of his assassination. Again, please join me in welcoming Mr. Hijri.